Hello and welcome to Scraptronic. Today we are going to be ranking the Fnaf games. Now these are our opinions, so if you disagree with us, that is totally fine.
All videos are credited to their individual sources.
This list will not include mini-games such as Fnaf in Space and any of the others in any Fnaf games. With that being said, let's get into the list.
Coming in last place at number 10 is going to be Fnaf 3. Fnaf 3 was similar to the style of Fnaf 1 and 2, but it included the system restart menu where errors regarding audio devices, the camera system, and ventilation would go off, and you would use that menu to reset them. Another new function would be the vent system, which Springtrap, the antagonist, would occasionally crawl through, and you would have the ability to shut the vent before he gets much closer to you. Now, the idea of just one animatronic attacking you doesn't sound so scary because it's not. But there are some other animatronics known as the Phantoms, which are easy to avoid. So in reality, it is just the one animatronic coming for you. But it is quite challenging. I mean, it took me 5 or so hours to beat Nightmare mode on this game. You know, this game, to me, it's just not as fun as the other games to play. Although I find there's not a whole lot to like about the game, I am still glad that it happened.
Coming in at number 9, we have Fnaf World. This one is different from the rest because it is an RPG and not a horror game. In this game, you fight using many Fnaf characters with different attacks against different bosses and enemies. Bites and chips can help you gain the advantage in battle. Although I have not personally played this game, I have seen gameplay for essentially every part of it. If it weren't for the fun combat, this would be last on the list. There are multiple endings depending on how you play the game, and the only real lore reveal was Baby and Henry. And for this, Fnaf World is ranked number 9. Fnaf AR Special Delivery is an AR game where you face off against iconic animatronics in your own home. This adds a lot of the scare factor that was believed to be gone from the series. Animatronics attack from all angles, and it is your job to stop them using your taser and light, which is addictive gameplay. When you defeat an animatronic, you have a chance of getting its CPU or suit, which, when equipped, your endoskeleton can mimic the movements of the animatronic you obtained it from. And with this, you can make custom animatronics to send to your friends to give them a scare. This game shares a lot of features with the iconic game Pokemon Go, with the AR and the catching of certain creatures within your area. But besides that, Fnaf AR places number 8 on this list.
Times before it begins to damage.
Coming in at number 7 is Five Nights at Freddy's Pizzeria Simulator. This game was very different from any of the others in the series. What makes this game so great is the simulator aspect of building your own pizzeria with the original Five Nights at Freddy's style of fending off against many animatronics. Alongside a large cast of previously unseen animatronics, there is the salvage aspect where you can pick and choose to allow animatronics into your pizzeria for the salvage reward. Pizzeria Simulator also has the largest amount of plot connections to the canon of Five Nights at Freddy's. This game also reveals many different missing pieces of the timeline and many details about characters that we previously did not know. What I really love about this game is the plot connections, the hidden details, and the great gameplay that you can get both in the simulation style and in the classic Five Nights at Freddy's style of this game. Pizzeria Simulator also comes with a total of 6 endings, which range from being lore-related and comical. And that's why Pizzeria Simulator comes in at number 7 on this list.
Fnaf Ultimate Custom Night is everything you love about the series, plus more. This includes most animatronics from previous games, the different offices, and almost every gameplay mechanic in previous games. Just like every custom night in previous games, there are different challenges with different point values depending on how many characters are set and their difficulty levels. This can range from 0 all the way to 10,600. The door, vent, duct, and camera mechanics are a mesh of previous games to appeal to almost every fan. This, of course, adds a level of difficulty since your strategy is constantly changing with different characters and challenges. For these reasons, FNAF UCN places number 6.
FNAF 4 is believed to be one of the scarier FNAF games. The gameplay style is somewhat similar to the first 3 games, but there is a very different mechanic that is necessary to play the game. There are 4 main components to the game, which include the left door and the right door, which you have to listen for breathing to see if an animatronic is there. And if they are, you will have to close the door to fend them off. There's also the closet and the bed behind you. The game is very scary because it forces you to put your volume up, and if you are unsuspecting of a jump scare, that will get you right in your face. Honestly, the first time I played this game, I really wasn't that into it, but once I actually played through the game, it's really fun, and you know, once you get to know how to play the game, it's really not that scary, because once you know how to play it, you'll most likely be suspecting of the jump scare. If you have not played this game, but you are a fan of FNAF, I would recommend you play this game because it is a little scary at first, but you'll get to know how to play the game. And honestly, if I hadn't played the game, I don't know if I would have this very high on my list, so I'm glad I played it. For the number 4 spot on the list, we have FNAF Sister Location. OMG, this game is mind-blowingly good. Each night in this game consists of a different task that you have to perform, which involves different animatronics that you have to try to avoid. It's the first FNAF game that includes voices for almost every animatronic, and I must say that the voices are very scary, but they're also quite entertaining. And the custom night at the end of the game, once you beat it, it is just so fun playing custom night. I think this might be one of my favorite custom nights. Well, to be fair, there are only like 4 of them, but this is one of my favorites out of those 4. If for some reason you haven't played this game yet, well, do it. It's a really fun game, and I really recommend it. Coming in at the number 3 spot is Five Nights at Freddy's Help Wanted, and this was the first FNAF virtual reality game. This game consists of you being able to replay iconic moments from the past Five Nights at Freddy's games, with the exception of new levels for you to play, which also involve previous animatronics from the other games. Now, I don't own a VR console, but I do own a Nintendo Switch, and I did buy it on Nintendo Switch, and yes, it is fun, but I would still recommend getting it on a VR console if you could. Now, this game may just be the scariest, at least in virtual reality, because the jump scares are just right in your face, and sometimes you might mess up and trigger the animatronics without you even realizing it. Now, this game really has a lot of content, and it is just very well made. This might be one of the few FNAF games that you can find yourself playing for a while. According to June 2020, this is one of the most recently released FNAF games, and it is coming in at the number 3 spot.
Coming in at number 2, we have the OG Five Nights at Freddy's. When FNAF 1 first came out, it became very popular and set a basis for many games to come. With simple mechanics like the 2 main doors and lights and the simple monitor, it's easy to understand why this game was so popular and a fan favorite. What's so awesome about this game is just from the tiny random changes in newspaper clippings and posters like the Golden Freddy poster and Easter egg, that sparked the entire lore and the timeline. If it wasn't for this great game, we wouldn't have any of the ones after it. And that's why it is at our number 2 spot.
FNAF 2 is the best way to do a sequel, with more animatronics, game features such as the vents, no doors, flashlight, and music box. This is the true successor to the original. More theories sparked about the lore and if it was a sequel or prequel, with evidence for both. This time around, Custom Night had challenges, which were fun ways to experience the game and its different playstyles, since with different characters activated, you might have to change up the way you play the game. The hype going into the game was astronomical due to the success of the first, and the multiple ads for this game revealing its 2015 release year. But Scott decided to release it a few months early, surprising many people and Let's Players. Five Nights at Freddy's 2 was our personal favorite, and that's why it ranks the best on our ranking of every FNAF game.
Thank you guys so much for watching this video. Leave a like if you enjoyed this, and please stay tuned and possibly subscribe because we will be making more FNAF content in the future.
See ya.
Peace.
Peace.